Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something that, let's be real, we all deal with: fear. But we're going to look at it in a completely different way. Not as something we have to destroy or get rid of, but as something we can actually work with, using some incredibly powerful ideas from ancient wisdom.
So, let's just start with this one big question. What if that anxiety, that heart-pounding, palm-sweating feeling, what if it wasn't the bad guy? What if the real problem isn't the fear itself, but how we react to it?
Because that physical feeling of anxiety can be completely overwhelming, right? It's so powerful that it usually triggers one main response in us. We run. It can literally freeze us right in our tracks.
So, let me paint a picture for you. This is Austin. He is a fantastic graphic designer, just brilliant. But the very idea of standing up in a room to present his ideas just sends him into a total tailspin. That fear is so real, so intense, that he actually turns down huge career-changing projects, all to avoid that feeling.
And this isn't just about giving a presentation. Austin's story is really a perfect example of what we call the cycle of avoidance. It's running from that speech, yeah, but it's also dodging that tough conversation you need to have, or avoiding any kind of conflict and just watching amazing opportunities sail right on by, all because that price of entry is a few minutes of feeling uncomfortable.
So, how in the world do we break that cycle? Well, our first piece of ancient wisdom comes from a Japanese proverb, and it's all about one thing: action. It's called Nanakorobi Yaoki. And the translation is just so simple but so profound. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Did you catch the math there? The focus isn't on the 7 falls. It's all about that 8th time you get back on your feet. It's persistence, pure and simple.
And this points to something that feels totally backward to most of us. The whole idea is that you don't wait around to feel confident before you do the scary thing. Nope, you do it first. You act on purpose, even while you are completely and utterly terrified. Confidence isn't what gets you started, it's what you find on the other side of the action.
Okay, but acting while terrified, that takes a certain kind of inner strength, right? You need a solid foundation. So let's look at our second concept, because this is about building the mindset that actually makes it possible to get back up.
And this is called Fudoshin, the immovable mind. Now, this doesn't mean you become a robot with no emotions, not at all. It's about building up this core of resilience so that when life and stress hit you, and they will, you don't shatter into a million pieces.
I want you to picture a huge old oak tree in the middle of a hurricane. The winds of panic are just whipping its branches all over the place, leaves are flying everywhere, it's definitely getting shaken. But the trunk, its core, its center, it stays firm. It bends, but it does not break. That is Fudoshin.
And here's where you can see how these two ideas are like a perfect team. Nanakorobi Yaoki, that's the external action. It's the physical practice of getting up again. And Fudoshin, that's the internal state. It's that unshakable mind that gives you the strength to get up in the first place. One is what you do, the other is how you're able to do it.
All right, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But what's actually going on inside our heads? How can some ancient philosophy really change our very modern, very stressed out brains on a biological level? Well, it really comes down to rewiring your body's built-in alarm system. There's this little part of your brain called the amygdala. Think of it as ground zero for that fight or flight response. It's the source of that physical panic that Austin feels.
So here's the magic. Every single time you practice Nanakorobi Yaoki, every time you face that fear instead of running, you're basically running a little science experiment. Your amygdala freaks out and sounds the alarm, screaming that disaster is coming. But then, the disaster doesn't happen, and your brain goes, huh. It gathers new data, and slowly but surely, it learns that the alarm is faulty. You're literally recalibrating it with real-world evidence.
So knowing the philosophy and the science is great, but putting it into practice, that's the whole ballgame. So let's talk about a real, concrete action plan.
First, we need one more tool in our toolkit. It's called Shoshin, which means the beginner's mind. And this is so important. It's about giving yourself permission to be bad at this at first, permission to be awkward, for your voice to shake, permission to be imperfect. You are a beginner, and that is 100% okay. It just lowers the stakes so much.
So here's what you do. You schedule your first fall. And please don't start with giving a TED Talk. Start small. Pick something that's just a little uncomfortable, like asking one question in a big meeting. Remind yourself that you're a beginner. Then just do it.
Let your voice shake, who cares? And after, the most important part, observe what really happened, not the catastrophe your anxiety predicted. That's your first piece of new data.
And really, that's what this all boils down to. This is the big takeaway. True fearlessness, true resilience, it is not some magical place where you feel zero fear. It is the willingness to act while you feel fear. It's about moving forward even when all the alarm bells are ringing in your head. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. As you go into your week, what's one small, intentional fall you can schedule for yourself? What little discomfort can you choose to walk towards to start building your very own immovable mind?